Hey YouTube, Lawler here. As always, we've got some roster updates and a pretty interesting conversation to talk about that is actually true. The title is not clickbait. We've got 3 or 4 things to update you on and kind of expressing on what's going down with those, as well as one in particular that I'm kind of curious about. I think it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be horrific. But with that said, as always, if you guys want to stay up to date on these, easiest way to do so, in the description down below, you should know by now, go check out the document. The document is your best friend to stay up to date on all things. Also follow all my socials, join our Discord. I should probably put Discord as one of the options in here too. But join part of our conversation, join us on stream, come hang out with us. It's always appreciated when you guys do. But we try to update these as quickly as possible between confirmations and some of the rumors. As they get updated, we'll clear some things out. So there's been a couple new ones, but the big one to talk about, and one of the conversation that has happened in the past, it is about T1. Obviously, there was conversations from Achilles saying that T1 and 100 Thieves potentially coming in. But the reality is, and I think I kind of negated that conversation, I think, right from the beginning. And there's a possibility that maybe T1 was trying to get the former G2 roster or something like that. But the reality is, I don't think financially it makes sense for someone to come in and spend the money on a top tier roster. Like, based upon the current state of the system that is going on and everybody talking about what next season will provide, and a lot of the uncertainty when it comes to rev share program and stuff, I think the difficulty is like people just, I can't see an enticing reason of wanting to invest now. The only contrast to that is if you find a top tier roster for extremely cheap, where they're like, hey, we'll take no pay, we keep 100% of our earnings, but you're going to provide us the world. You're going to give us boot camping options, this, that, and the other. Then maybe, but even then it's still kind of like, I don't know if it's worth it. So I think if you could find like a G2 for like a couple $1,000s a month, that's a different story. But realistically, Orcs coming in doesn't make any sense. He hasn't said anything about 100 Thieves, but I highly doubt 100 Thieves comes in as well, based upon the financial stuff that they're going through. So very unlikely that we're going to see it. Expect to see quite a few nameless teams coming into this next season. And then as we ramp up to the main events, maybe we'll see some pickup for a short-term stint, maybe like 4 or 5 months, Major 1, Major 2 type stuff. And that's about it. So just kind of giving you guys some clarification on that. The next one, and an actual roster update as a permanent, has to do with ShaZette. I don't speak French, so we had to scroll down. But with ShaZette, he is officially retiring. He's been doing this for almost 10 years. Started at the very young age, ripe at 15, and has been competing. He's almost 24 now, but he's been reflecting and saying, hey, it's time to call it quits. Still going to compete in RLCS tournaments, still going to do content, still going to focus on stuff of that regard. But the passion, the spark for what made me a competitor is no longer there. It's one thing to go and compete and do stuff for RLCS for content. It's another thing to give it your all as a professional player and practice and train and scrim and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, if it's not there, but I can still do it for fun and make like top 32s, why not? Pays a lot of respect to a lot of people and also gives a nod to some of the younger players coming up. Mentions Fox, Matzer. I've been talking about Mozzarella as a really good player. You can talk about Eugen as well. A lot of these young French players that he's like, you know what, they deserve this tryout spots. They deserve stuff like that. I'm going to completely remove myself. I don't know if ShaZette was even getting those tryout offers, but the difference being that he's like, I'm trying to make as much room for them as possible, which I don't blame him. Getting out of the way and just letting them do their thing. Maybe we will see ShaZette, KDOP, and another third team up for like a content-focused team, and they banter and have a good time, because the French streams go absolutely crazy. I wish I could watch them. I just don't know what the heck they're saying, but it always looks like a really funny time. I love KDOP streams, but I genuinely have no idea what's happening. So hopefully we see more of that. Hopefully we see more French figures in the community, building and growing the fan bases, because I do think it's important. Unfortunately, he did not get a world championship, but has had some pretty amazing results. Obviously, the PSG results in Solary. PSG more primarily, as well as leftovers in season 4, I think it was. But ShaZette literally is the reason why we all use the Fennec. If you guys don't know, ShaZette's like had the ability to single-handedly carry games at one point, was dominating, basically trying to fight 1v3 against Energy in like BTS and stuff, like the PSG run at DreamHacks. Like, PSG was a really good team. I think Fruity, ShaZette, and Pharaoh was the roster. Why he leaves out Fruity, nobody knows. Kind of savage, but maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, I think a lot of respect given for people in this, and for ShaZette, thanks for letting us be a part of your careers, dude. It was super cool to watch you compete. You made a huge impact, and legitimately the reason why the Fennec is so popular is because of this man and what he did. proving that it is viable. So pretty crazy stuff. Up next, we do have a roster announcement. Is going to be confirmation from Torsas, the OCE GOAT, that he's going to be teaming with Fever and Gus. So Gus Hunter splitting from Chiefs, which was not surprising. Banana Head no longer with the roster, so it does open up some opportunity. And Fever coming over from that former Pioneers roster. So again, OCE continues to disband and come back together. I think there's an inevitability about Torsas finding his way to LAN. I don't question it at this point. I also don't question them going to the 2-2 round and then losing and not making top 8. So the only negative about this is that Power is allowing them to explore as unrestricted free agents, which means, hey, we're not asking for a buyout. We just want you guys off the books. So Power likely either dropping a team or they have their sets or their eyes set on another roster, whether it be rebuilding with Banana Head or something else. We do not know, but Torsas, Fever, and Gus. A lot of talent in that. We've seen the potentials of both of these players, both through the EWC World Cup, where Yoris came in and won MVP with Gus and Hunter, and Thieves and what he was able to do at the World Championship just a short few months ago. So a lot of talent. Last but not least, we do have Deleted Gaming. If you guys don't know, Deleted was a team that had kind of like a top 16 regular. Sometimes they dipped out, sometimes they were in top 16. But they have announced a new content plan, which I think is either going to be phenomenal or it's going to be absolutely horrific. I don't think it'll go one way or the other. It'll either be the greatest thing that we've seen brought into Rocket League, or it will just be like, this is so cringe and terrible that I can't do it. They announced that they are going to try and obviously grow and develop within Rocket League, which I think is a W. As an organization in Tier 2, I think there is a big opportunity for some of these lower tier orgs that aren't investing as much to double down in a cheap way to grow and build communities. As long as they do it financially responsibly, then there is positives for it, because that's what's needed. There is a void of what is being provided, and a lot of that is content focused. With Deleted, they are partnering with Caleb. If you guys do not know Caleb, Caleb was recently let go from Dignitas. Caleb was basically their director of content and all the videos and stuff. If you guys remember that documentary we put out recently about Rotterdam, Caleb was the one that was behind shooting that and editing that. Very talented guy. Has edited my videos in the past, any of the big vlog videos I've done. He's been a part of, when I did that Rocket League show, he edited all of those as well. Caleb's very talented. I wish nothing but the best for Caleb, but they are filming a reality TV show. My big concerns is it's going to really matter about who's involved. This has been an ongoing sentiment throughout the entire community, because we're dealing with young players who are trying to figure out who they are as people. If you do not have older players or older personalities, I expect this to go very poorly. They need to at least all be 18, and they also all need to be open to understanding that this is for content purposes. If we're just getting another behind the scenes documentary type, hey, this is our path to going to the major type thing, I don't know if it's going to do anything, but they need to find a way to truly make this a reality show. I can tell you the owner behind Deleted is a former reality TV star, so he is going to have a little bit of insight about how that functions. What you can get away with for Rocket League is a different story, but the rumors currently circulating around Deleted is the team they are trying to pick up is Arsenal, Andy, and Gyro, with Roldiz as coach. Whether that will work out or not, I do not know. He says, we have mixed in our vision. It was too beautiful not to combine to do this with our creators, which, again, I like the fact that if they're picking up a team and they're trying to go a little bit more above and beyond in what that provides content-wise, cool. Consistency is going to be number one. I will say no matter how good or bad the content is, at least it will look good, because Caleb is going to be the focal point behind that. I think Caleb does a phenomenal job with any video project he gets creative freedom on, and I fully expect that to happen here as well. So, plus Caleb has continuous work, so W for him. If you guys want, I'll reach out to the owner and say, hey, do you want me to make an appearance on it? Maybe I'll do that. We'll see what happens. With that being in mind, he says all players will hold equity in the project. I don't know necessarily what the details and the stipulations of that are. If the project and the IP of what this reality TV show is grows, maybe they get a kickback on sponsorships or whatever else they raise for it. There's a lot of assets that can be sold for a reality TV show. Whether that will happen or not, nobody knows. We believe in an organization that we're supposed to grow our players, not just contract them, which I'm a firm believer. I think when organizations and creators can work in tandem to grow and build their branding, it works and benefits everybody. Will this be the solution for that? It's never been done before. We'll have to wait and see. Phase 2 of that is they are also breaking ground with a new boot camp facility that will not only give our team the ability to boot camp together, but will also give them the ability to play together whenever they would like. Which, again, we've seen that happen in the past. I've also seen players where they have literally lived across the street from their boot camping facility and still not go and take advantage of it. Hopefully this circumstance is different. A lot of this is going to be on the players. A lot of this is going to have to be... I'm curious on what the contracts for this are going to look like and what the obligations are going to be for the players and what kind of commitment they have to make, because you are forfeiting a lot of rights when you do a reality TV show. And I'm hoping that their owner can also make a stipulation and just state, hey, this is the reality of how things go. You are forfeiting some of these rights, but because of that, you are also getting an opportunity for, you know, growth, brand recognition, stuff like that. That's how the Netflix shows do it. You basically disappear for 3 months. You can't talk about it until it airs. I do hope that there is some more interesting ways to go about doing that. So very interested to see how this goes. Some of the comments, with it being a reality TV show, would they also have Rocket League team challenges or vote others off? No. I don't see any other real questions being addressed. So I think the biggest thing is if they do have a dedicated facility, that's dope for them for competition purposes. Will the team be competitive? That's a whole different story as well. We'll have to wait and see. But maybe this environment plus the pressure of the TV show could provide some good, could provide some bad. Ultimately, I recommend checking it out. I think no matter what, it is something different, and I'm going to support it in some capacity. I'll try to give it at least 1 or 2 episodes because I consider myself a friend of Caleb, and I would like to support him and the content that he's making. I'm very interested to see on how this is directed and how this is shot, what the scripting of it all is, because there's got to be narratives, there's got to be goals, and if it's too robust or too like broad, I'm curious on what stuff they may have to like fabricate or make. Is it going to be something like, imagine, in my thought process goes to like a Rocket League reality TV show that's like The Office, where they do like a one-on-one camera kind of testimonial type stuff. I think some things could be interesting. Do I think we have the personalities in Rocket League to really make it happen on the pro level? Not really. We'll find out though. I'm excited to see how this one goes. Either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Rocket League reality TV show. Yay or nay? Do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's not? Who would you like to see in it? Let us know. Curious to what you have to say. Either way, if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Rocket League, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, notifications, all that kind of fun stuff. Comments down below. Links to all my socials down below as well as in that roster doc. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.